Hi everybody, Brienne from Pigment here today, and I'm going to be coloring a page from one of our new books called Winter Wonderland, I believe, or Winter Wonderland. So I'm going to be using a lot of cool colors for this palette. I'm going to show a couple little tips and tricks I have for doing landscapes and getting color down fairly quickly. I'm going to actually start by using, I was kind of thinking of this before I started using the Frostbite palette, since I'm going to be using a lot of cool colors and cool tones. I thought that might be a perfect palette to use for the Winter Wonderland, so to speak. So let's get started. So I'm just going to go over to my fills. Now, I use this for a lot of things, but it's particularly nice to use when you're doing a grayscale because it allows for coverage quickly. So if you go to the fade tool, it's going to allow you to get your color down, and then you can go back and put in your details after. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's start out with, let's try this color here. It's almost like a tealy blue. I'm just going to kind of use the fade motion. Moving down my opacity a bit. So you just want to get those colors in. I'm going to switch over to the bloom for a second because I want the color coming kind of from the center, but I kind of want it a bit darker on the edges. So I'm just trying to get some gradient color in right now. This icy blue maybe over here for the water. Reflection of the sky on the snow. So you have the blue in the sky, and you're going to have the blue on the snow, and then you can kind of play with it from there. So I'm kind of just adding pieces of color, and if you feel like you need different blues, which I kind of do right now, I really want kind of like a bright blue. This morning we had a snow squall happening, and like I was driving in, and I seen these beautiful, like it was just so gorgeous because we live by mountains, and everything was like almost like pink in the sky. I had like a hazy pink color. So I kind of want to achieve that and try that. But I got to be very kind of gentle with it because it wasn't a strong pink. It was very light. Maybe just put a little bit of pink in the sky there. No, it's too bright. Very pale, like subtle pinkness to the sky. It was so beautiful. So I kind of got inspiration for this without looking for inspiration. It just kind of happened. So the sky was like hazy. Anyways, it was really beautiful. So as I'm getting my colors in here, I'm thinking about where I'm going to go to highlight and kind of add accents to it. Now, the great thing about this grayscale winter scene is it's going to be great for beginners because there's not overly lots to do, but there's definite highlights and strategies that you can use to make your painting kind of stand out. So I'm just going to continue kind of playing with color here a bit. Too dark, too light. These are my recently used blues. So I kind of already made my own palette in a way. So I kind of want to reflect the shadows a bit happening in the sky. I kind of want to have that pink in here, but like not too bright. So I kind of want to just have it off to the side. I'm going to go over to my airbrush now so I can be a little bit more precise with the color that I'm distributing. And I'm just kind of getting the colors in place more strategically, like I just said. Setting myself up to be able to paint this lovely piece. So I kind of have like these blue tones, a little bit of dark in the corner, a little bit of dark at the bottom. Now this reflection of pink, I'm going to want it on the water a tiny bit as well from the sky. And you can use the brighter pink. It's easier to control with the airbrush, so you don't have to press too hard and make it too abrupt, but you can still get that lighter pink color in there if you want it, or the brighter color pink. And then I kind of want like this light coming from the trees. So this is going to be the foundation for our actual colors. Now I'm going to be using white a lot for this. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to grab my white. And you can use whatever you want. I'm thinking I might actually use my paintbrush. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into all these areas and that have distinct outlines or ridges, and you're going to put that white down. I'm using the paintbrush, but I might try other tools. And it's going to kind of make your snow pop more. So if you lay down all those other colors, you're going to get those natural reflections from the blues and the pinks, and then you're going to have the white details kind of outlined and sticking out. Do you see how it looks already? So it's going to pop. And same for the ripples in the water. You can do more than just white though with these. You could do a brighter blue if you wanted to. This is definitely, because it's such a minimal palette grayscale, it is very good for beginners. So I recommend any beginners can definitely jump into this grayscale. It might look intimidating, but don't be intimidated. It's actually very minimal palette, so it's going to be a little bit easier to start with than some other grayscales that require a lot of detail and a lot of color. So you see, I'm just kind of going around and outlining the white now. So you set all your color down quite easily. You can set it down any way you want. You don't have to use the fade or the bloom. You could use the airbrush. You could use the paintbrush. You could use you could use literally watercolor, anything you want. Anything you want to lay down the colors that you want in the picture. And then if you just come in with the white with a comfortable tool, airbrush, pencil, paintbrush, whatever your favorite tool is, and then just start highlighting these little white areas, and that's what's going to make your picture look wintry and fresh and cool. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going around and highlighting, and I'm not worried about it being a little bit messy. Snow is messy, so I'm not worried about a little bit of mess. If you want to lighten up a little bit of the darker areas of snow, just kind of drag it on a larger brush size. And then you're getting the reflection from the sky, but you're also getting the snow, which is what you want to see. See how it's coming, shining through? So then I'm going to go and do that to everything. I'm going to go around everywhere where I think there's snow in the picture. And I'm going to add snow. And if you want to add more painterly type texture to the sky, let's go to our, actually I'm going to look at my purples. You can go to your watercolor, put the watercolor down a little bit, like the opacity, excuse me. And then you can add a little bit more kind of texturally, if you're noticing that there's missing texture, or you think the pink should be carried through a little bit more, you will get a little bit more texture with the watercolor than you will just with the standard fills. And you could even use purple if you think purple works. You got to be careful with the watercolor because it's very powerful. So you just want to make sure that you are adjusting your opacity as you're going. And the only reason I'm doing this is because before I get too far into doing my white, I do want to make sure that my sky is exactly the way that I want it. So that's what I'm doing. Now I'm going to my recently used colors and just kind of blend that out a little bit. Add maybe a little bit of blue in there. And then maybe a little bit of darker color in here to show some shadowing in the distance here. I'm going to use my airbrush for a second. So it's really just kind of accentuating details that are already in the picture. So like the tree over here has a little bit of a shadowed ridge. So I'm just coming over here and darkening it up a bit so it stands out a bit more than it is right now. So it gives the picture a little bit more detail, a little bit more something to look at in the distance, right? And I'm lightening up down here because I find the blue is a little bit dark. And then you can also go to blur mode. And you can kind of blur these colors in your sky together to give, so you can keep some of the texture, but if you blur, you're going to lose a little bit, but you're going to see kind of like this blooming effect happen when it blends. And I just want to get a little bit more blue in here, a little bit less pink. You'll know as you go how you want your picture to look. I want that pink in there, but I just got this vivid picture of what I seen this morning, so now I'm trying to kind of recreate that. And there's a color that I actually want to try for that. Good old neon palette. Blended with the pink, it's actually quite perfect. Maybe just zoom in here. I just want to get the sky right because the sky is really going to set the tone for the picture. That's why I kind of stepped away from doing my shading and stuff, because there's not a whole lot of other colors in the picture. I'm just going to go over my trees again there and make them a little bit more shadowy because I kind of lost it when I redid the sky. So because there's not a lot of color in the picture, your sky is going to be what reflects light off your water, off the snow, off everything really. So that's why I really want the sky to be kind of popping, beautiful winter sky. And I definitely had the right view for it today. Okay, so now that that's done, let's go back to our Winter Wonderful White and we can continue on. I might still do some stuff with the sky, but I got my colors that I want in place for that. I wasn't going to go with such a deep pink, but I actually think it looks really nice now. So I'm going to leave it. Everything's in place. Like I said, I can go back and touch up my sky and add some more detail if I want to. So for now, I'm going to go and kind of get my snow in. And I'm using my paintbrush. And I'm not being super precise about it. I'm just kind of going where I see the snow, or where I think there would be snow. And really what's going to make your picture pop is laying down that color and then making all that snow pop through again. That's what's really gonna... And you could even let's try technical pen. Technical pen's a little bit too neat. Pencil's good. I think pencil's actually working just a little bit better than paintbrush because it's a little bit more precise, and then it has that grainy kind of texture. So you can use whatever you want. I think I'm going to use the pencil now. I just really like the way it lays down. Kind of look back at it, see if you need more. I feel like there should be more, especially in this area. And I'm just going into some other areas where I think the snow should be standing out. Don't do what I just did. Make sure that you're going in the same direction that the snow looks like it's going. Don't go against it or it's not going to look natural. So whatever way the snow is going right here, it seems to be going in a horizontal motion, the way the leaves are drawn. So that's how you should be laying the snow down so it catches it the right way. And then if you find you're losing a little bit of that background detail, just add it back in. You can bring down that opacity and actually add some more texture to your sky as well, if you want. And then just fine tune any areas that you think aren't quite done. The nice thing about the pencil is that it leaves some of the reflection of the color behind, so it's not just all white, it actually does leave some blue behind, or whatever color is reflecting. And then you're going to get this icy looking landscape. This is what we want. And don't be afraid to blend a little bit more if you don't like how it's looking. The pencil is really good for that. That color is way too dark. Just to kind of get that pink in there. And then you can also put some of that pink in the water, a little bit more than we did already. You can put a little bit of it in the snow. So you're getting like this beautiful kind of reflection happening. And actually I'm really finding that the pencil is working best for this. It's giving me more the painterly look that I want. So if you want to try the pencil, I find it's working really great. You gotta kind of adjust your opacities and whatnot as you go. And you can even poofy up the snow a little bit more if you want. You can kind of add snow where there isn't really snow, but you can kind of make it that way. So I'm going to do that very gently. Now you're starting to get this very painterly looking landscape. Sorry, I keep on hitting the back button, but I'm hitting the freehand thing on accident. So I'm just going to add a little bit more pink to this water. And maybe some of this red. Mixing with a little bit of blue. And we're getting this nice looking landscape. And this hasn't really taken long as opposed to how long some grayscales can take. So if you're new to the grayscale scene, some landscapes can honestly be a really good place to start and get your feel for everything. All I'm doing now is just kind of adding my last kind of surges of white that I want. And you can grab the orange and kind of do like a little bit of orange in the sky. Reflect a little bit on the water here. So all I'm doing is kind of just trying to blend it in a way that I think looks good. And I think I like it better just pink. Now we can go to blur. I'm just going to blur these colors together, especially right here. I might have to go and darken up my tree again because I'm not satisfied. I really want this pink to be the focal point, and I'm losing it by blending too much. So I'm going to go back in. Yeah, there we go. That is more like it. Now we're talking. Now I just gotta do this tree for the 8th time. Actually, maybe I'll just leave the tree and just do a little bit more because it kind of looks nice. The light reflecting through it. Maybe that's why it's not staying colored because it doesn't want to be colored. Or because I'm just messing around with the sky so much. Okay, so I'm liking the way everything's looking here. Everything seems to be coming together pretty well. I'm just doing some last minute kind of reflections in the water here. Blending some more blues in with it. I'll grab my white, a little bit more white in here. Maybe a little bit of this color to drag that sun light through. The sky to me in this picture is the most important part. So if I'm being finicky with it, that is why. Because the sky really sets the scene, really sets the mood, really gives the picture a little bit of something, something. Okay, so pretty good. I'm going to experiment with the plasma for a second. I'm going to bring the brush size down low. I'm going to leave the opacity up high. And I'm just going to kind of try to add this glimmer of light back here. And play with it till you get just like a nice little streak of kind of light in the sky. You don't want it to look unnatural though, so play with it for a while until you get the right look. I'm really actually liking this a lot. I think it's turning out very nice. I think I might actually try some pink streak here. It's hard to get it right because I'm going through this tree. You gotta watch your pressure, because if you press too hard, it kind of takes over. And I think I just like a little bit of pink like that there. I think that's more than enough. And then down here, we can kind of add a couple little streaks. If you want, you can grab your laser, bring the brush size all the way down, the opacity all the way up, and you can kind of add more precise sparkles, reflection from the sky. You don't want lots though, you just want a little look of it. You can even blend it down a bit so it's barely even there, which I'm doing right now. So it just kind of is hinting it's in the water. And then up here you could do the same, you could blend it down a bit. And then you get this kind of sky that's all, it's like morning has lit it up and it's just kind of glowing. Just blending those light reflections in a bit. Now I'm just playing with it till I get it the way that I want it. I like it to look natural. So I'm blending back and forth. Get this natural kind of light happening in the sky. And then I want that to be reflective into the water. It takes a while to play with it to get the look that you want, and there's nothing wrong with that. Take your time. So I'm going to get that nice kind of glow that's coming from the sky into my water. I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit more snow. So for Grayscale, minus my pickiness and playing with my sky here, this is actually not taking me very long at all. I mean, I could have really just did it very quickly and laid my colors down and not tweaked and twomped with it. but that's not my style. So obviously I took the time and wanted to make it a presentable piece for you guys, showing you my actual color process. I'm adding more snow now because I want to add more of that white. More of that white. I'm just adding it in dabs. And then we got this snowy winter wonderland where it looks like almost fresh snow just fell overnight. Oops. And I don't know if you were noticing, but I actually just used plasma for the snow too. So you could definitely do that if you want to get the snow down fast. Now I'm back at the pencil. All right, and there you have it, my winter wonderland with kind of like almost a sunset in the background reflecting, or sunrise, sunset. I would say sunrise since that's what influenced me today, was the sunrise. So there you have it. And then you can always go back to it. If you ever see anything you don't like in your picture, you can always go back and just kind of do those last minute blends or touch-ups. See how the pencil adds nice texture to the snow? So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have as much fun as I did coloring this beautiful picture. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to list them at the bottom. We'll get to those for you. Or if you want to see something in the future, please don't be shy. Let us know about that as well. Again, this is Brienne from Pigment. Have a great day, guys. Bye.